Yes, good afternoon, everybody. It is our class now to start talking about how we're gonna pass this paper. This paper is gonna be easy, we're gonna kill it. So I'm gonna just show you what you're supposed to focus on, then we revise together within 1.5 hours. We will be done for this session. And then now we will continue with our cross night. All right, guys. All right, let's start. Let's start without wasting time. What are you supposed to look at in this paper? Let me just give you some techniques you need to know before you start this paper. These are the topics which you are going to cover in this paper. But how are you going to distribute your time so that you are able to focus on these papers, on these topics, and then you get a distinction? You remember that for us, we are looking for a distinction. All right. You have the first topic is reproduction in vertebrates, of which it carries 5%. The 5% is equal to 8 marks. So, how much time do you need to focus on this? Let me know if you have any challenge in the comment section. I will be able to answer those questions immediately. So, this, you must not take too much time here. Why? Because most of the questions, if we are to set, they come 5 marks and then maybe 1 mark or 2 marks from the objectives or terminologies. So we don't bring too much. If we bring here, we're going to bring maybe a diagram which for you to is just showing you so that you're able to interpret the diagram. I'll show you some of the examples I'm talking about here. Then human reproduction is a must that you're supposed to do this. I will show you where to focus on when it comes to human reproduction and the things which you're supposed to look at. We will talk about the interpretation, investigative questions. Yes, I want to drill much on investigative questions because this was a very big problem with the students this previous term. So, previous term? No, this last project which you did. So I will show you some of the investigative questions in reproduction. So guys, when it comes to reproduction is 27%, then you have 41 marks. In actual sense, it means that when you have this 5 plus 27, when you add them, you get 32. If you just want to pass, then that is enough. But that's not what we are looking at. We are looking at 60% and above. The minimum mark you must get is 60% and above. Then you want to talk for your results. Then you have the response to the environment by human. This one includes the eye, the ear, the spinal cord, the brain. You understand? So all this is 54 marks. It means that if you are able to answer these questions in response to the environment by human, you'll be able to get all the marks. I'll show you. I'll show you where to focus on and some of the questions you can't miss in the paper. All right. Response to the environment by plants. This is what you call the tropism. Tropism is a little bit easy, yes, and small marks. So where are you supposed to focus to put your effort too much? You'll find out that human reproduction, you get 27% plus response to the environment by human is 36%. So these two topics, if you focus on them, however much, if you say that the other ones are difficult and then you focus on this, you will be able to get good marks. I'm telling you. Yes. So paper 1, you have to make sure that you get above 130. Then paper 2, you can get maybe 125. Then a nice distinction will be there for you. All right. But I will train you how to get this. All right, you have response to the environment by plants. We say that this is tropism. Some people, they say that they have issues with this tropism, but I'll show you how to deal with that. Then you're saying that the last one is endocrine and homeostasis. This is a disease. I repeat, this is a disease to everybody. It's a disease. Someone saying, Semi, sir, can you please do menstrual cycle? Obviously, I'll do that. Don't stress about it. I'll do that. I'll show you where to focus an investigative question on menstrual cycle so that you are able to understand this. Ne? Yeah, all right, let's continue. So here we are able to understand that. But now, before I go to these topics, let me start with the investigative question. What are you supposed to look at when it comes to the investigative question, guys? If it is about graphical work, what are you supposed to look at so that you are able to get the mark? Let's go. Hey, let me start with this. We have 4 different types of graphs we bring. Number 1 is a pie chart. Number 2, a line graph. Number 3, a histogram. Number 4, a bar graph. If you don't know those 4, you need to revise it. But let me show you. When we bring a pie chart, how do I know it's a pie chart, is a histogram, is a line graph based on the table? So we will bring something like this. Once we bring something like this, they will ask you that to draw a pie chart or draw a bar graph. Ne? That one is clear. But if they don't ask you that and they ask you that draw a suitable graph for your, so you are able to understand where to start from. So if I have content, for example, I have here names. Yes, I have maybe Karabo, Kabero, and then Zulu. Cool. Then now, Karabo, then I say age. Karabo is 24. Kabero is 30. And then Zulu is 16. Yes? So if I have these two, it shows that this is, it can be a pie chart or it can be a bar graph, even a histogram. But it is rare to ask you to draw a line graph of which these sides are words. Cool. So now, once I know that, if I'm going to draw a pie chart like this, to be like this, guys, what am I supposed to do? This is age. Sometimes we bring this in percentages. 10%, 20%. We don't use the percentage to plot. No. What do? We convert this. Let me show you very fast. So, if I have we say that we have 20%, we have 20, 30, and then maybe 13, and these are the age. What do? You have to first add all of them. Once you get the total, this is 24, this is 50, 54, this is 7, 57, 67. So I will say 24, 24, just a moment, guys. Yes. 24, I'll say 24 over, I say this is 67. Out of 67 times 100. So what you get here, for example, it's 180 degrees is what you use to plot here. Guys, don't forget about that. Then you go to this 30. You say 30 divided by 67 times 100. Then the answer you get there is what you use to plot or to draw the pie chart. Then lastly, 13 divided by 67 times 360, because the circle is in what? It is in 360 degrees. Guys, please don't plot a pie chart using percentages. Don't plot a pie chart using mass, using whatever they have given you. Use degrees. If it is not percentage, add everything they have given you, get the total. Now go section by section, divide by the total times 360, then you will be able to get that mark. All right, conversion is a mark. Then now, when it comes to draw, what do? So you draw a circle. You draw a circle. Yes. You bring a protractor. Ne? When you draw a circle, remember it has a hole there. Then draw a line touching the circumference. Put the protractor in that like this, ne? Because it has that. So put a protractor. Let me check, see if I have a set here. Yes, I have a set here in my office. All right. Put a protractor. This is a protractor. Are you seeing the protractor? This is the protractor. This protractor, put it there. This hole you see here, it must be in the center here. So that now, once you do it like that, now start measuring. Measuring the maybe 60 degrees. Then you measure 60 degrees. So 60 degrees might be stopping there. Then now you turn the protractor, you put it there, and then again you measure. That's how you're supposed to measure. After that, maybe do it like that. You come here, you say key, then what you said like this means this. Then you go, maybe that one is another section like this, the way how you see it here. You understand? After that, you put a key. That's number one. Line graph, pie chart, I'm done. Line graph, histogram, bar graph. Let me talk about them, and then also I talk about percentage increase and the percentage decrease. All right. Let me check here. Yes. So everyone, if you have a question, guys, I say that let me know. Then I'll be able to give you that help in the comment section. All right. Pie chart is done. Bar graph is the same story. It must have words. Words, words. You see? However, we have two types of bar graphs we bring. The first one is, the first one we bring is individual bar graphs. Then the second one is the group T bar graph. You see now here, it's a group T bar graph. You see? But here, if you check here, it's individual bar graph. When do I have this and when do I have this? And what do I know? When do I know that I'm supposed to put this here and I'm supposed to put this here or this here? Guys, this is where Max and this will come and then make sure that you don't embarrass me. Clear? All right. So, all right. So we are saying that now you have this. You have a table. It has maybe we say the name. Then I will call them A. I call them B. I call them C. Then now you have maybe distance from home. Maybe 60 kilometers. This one 40 kilometers. This one 30 kilometers. And then distance from school. You see now this is distance from home. Home. I think distance from school. School. Then now maybe it's 100 kilometers, 120 kilometers, 120 kilometers, and then maybe 80 kilometers. Are you seeing? So it means that I have two columns which have figures and one column which has words. That's the meaning of this. Guys, are you understanding this? That's the meaning of this. So this means that the words are supposed to be independent variables. Independent variables. Then these figures are supposed to be the dependent variables. They are supposed to be on the y-axis. You understand? Independent, variable, independent variable. Then you have the dependent variable. You call it x, y. Independent variable on x-axis, dependent variable on y-axis. Guys, are you getting it? Let me know if you don't understand the concept. So now this will come here, while this will go this side. But now when you're plotting, this is what you do. You plot A and the 60, you get the first column. You plot B and the 40, you get the second column. You plot C and the 30, you get the third column. Then now you plot A and the 100, you get now this column. Because this thing is on the same individual, that's why we group them together. Then these two are on the same individual, that's why you group them together. And then this one is on the same individual, that's why you group them together. I think that one is clear. Yes. Then this one, it means that it only has one column here. Yes, it only has one column there. So line graph, before I go to the real investigative question, let me take a sip of Coke. Yes. This one saying that I don't understand the X and Y. I think I've mahlate. Yes, I think I've explained to you. X, in most cases, let me tell you something. This is a secret, The first column, in most cases, if you try and things don't come out, the first column is independent variable. Put it on x-axis. The second and the third, if they are there, those are y, the dependent variable. The second goes on the and the third goes on y. Let me show you what I'm saying. This one, you see this one, the first column here, it is independent variable. It goes on x-axis. You understand? And then the second and the third, it goes on what? On y. It is a y. It's a y variable, or it is a dependent variable. I think that one is also clear. Then lastly is a line graph. We have also two types of line graph. It can be one line, or it can be two lines. When do I have one line? When I have two lines. If I have one line, it means that the table, they have asked you to plot only, you have A, you have B, you have C. If they ask you to plot A and B, then it means that it's going to be one line. If they ask you to plot A, present this on the graph or a line graph, it means that you're going to plot A and D, A and B, then it forms one line. Then you plot again A and C, which means, that's why I told you that the first column, in most cases, it is X, and then the second and the third, it is on Y axis. Is it clear, guys? All right, thank you so much. You said you understand. All right, let's go to the next question. Percentage increase versus percentage decrease. What do you mean by percentage increase? Percentage increase is final minus initial divided by initial. Sometimes they say, you say old minus new. There's a way how you say it. Old, yes, I wrote it here. You say new minus old divided by old. Meaning that old is the initial. So meaning that final is the new. New minus old divided by the old. Or this is the normal way of expressing it. Final value minus initial value divided by initial value. The times 100 because we wanted to make it in percentage. So it becomes percentage increase. You understand? What about percentage decrease? It's the same. Same formula. But how do I know it's percentage increase? When the answer I get is a positive figure, then it is percentage increase. When the answer I get is a negative figure, then it becomes a percentage decrease. I think that one is clear. Don't be stressed when you see the answer is negative. We go to another one. Sometimes we ask you, we said percentage increase is done. Sometimes when you calculate, you get 200%. You ask yourself, do we have 200%? Yes. You can increase 200 times. For example, you start, let me say, you start from 2. That's the initial. And then the final, you end up 10. You started from 2. Then the final is 10. So I'm gonna say here, I will say that 10, which is the final, minus the initial, which is 2, divide by the initial, which is 2. So it gives me what? What does it give me? Let me clear up here. What does it give me? It gives me, let me check here on the calculator. Yes, my calculator. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that it is possible. 10 minus 2 is equal to 8 divided by 2. Answer is 4 times 100, which gives me 400. So what does it mean? Do you see that I can have more than 100%? So I can have a percentage increase or a percentage decrease more than 100. Rivonia, yes, thank you so much. Is it clear? Still, I can have initial to be 10 and then I ended up going to 2. So it means that when I'm calculating for percentage increase or decrease, I will say because the initial is 10, the final is 2, I will say 2 minus 10 divided by the initial, which is what? 2, yes, minus 2 minus 10. You see? Divided by, so the answer divided by 10. You understand? So what is the answer here? The answer here is going to be 8 divided by 10. But this 8, is it 8 is negative? You see? So it means that when I divide, I'm going to get 8 divided by 1000 divided by 10, which is 0.8 times 100, which gives me 80, but now it is a negative, which means that it is negative 80%. So it is negative, so it becomes percentage decrease. I think I'm clear there. Let's go to the next question. Are there gifts? Are the gifts legit? Yes, they are legit. 100%. If someone join for physical science and life science, one can. Okay, we don't need. Okay, guys, make sure that you let me know in the link. Yes, because there is a group where you can send me messages and then we talk. If you want some help somewhere, then so that we can help you. If I have time, sometimes the time is not there and then I come back to you after certain time T. All right, let's continue. Now I think I'm done with that. I'm done with the percentage increase. I'm done with the graphical work. Then, since I know that, let me just talk about the dependent variable and independent variable. Sometimes it is hidden. There is no graph. It is hidden and ask you that identify the dependent variable, identify the independent variable, and then you see that someone is off. About to tick this. All right. Dependent variable responds to a dependent, it depends on the independent variable. So it responds to the independent variable. How your height will depend on the food you eat, for example. Your age will depend on the time you have spent. So after 10 years, how many age do you have? How many years do you have? You have how many? 10 years. So your age will depend on how much time you have spent, how much days you have spent. You see? So the one which has the effect becomes the dependent variable. When you eat, you become full. I think when you eat, so you being full, does it depend on what you eat, or what you eat depends on you being full? Do you understand? You being full depends on how full you are, depends on how much you have eaten. So as you eat, it will bring about the effect, which is you being what? Full. Do you understand? So the dependent variable depends on one factor, which is what you call the independent. And that independent is always on x-axis. Think I'm clear there. Let me just start now the real story. So we will deal with that. We will also do those questions. Yes. All right, now let's go to the real presentation. Can I start highlight the human endocrine system? Human endocrine system and the homeostasis. Yes, because that is a very big problem also. But I will not spend too much time there. Why? Because I've shown you that it has 23 marks. I'm just going to show you highlight, and then we do some few questions. Then we go to the next topic. We go to the next topic. We go to the next topic. If you have any challenge, you let me know. So how do we find the independent variable and dependent variable from investigative question from the... Yes. Okay, I will show you. Let me see. I wanted to go there separately. Okay, they tell you that, yes, the graph shows the speed at which the impulse are transmitted along the sensory neuron axon. You understand? Axon are myelinated, and then those meaning covered, and those which are not. So meaning that, check, the speed, the graph shows the speed at which, I see, the speed at which the impulse is transmitted. So the speed at which along a what? A neuron. For those which are between those which are myelinated and those which are unmyelinated. You understand? So those which have the myelin sheath, yes, axons which have the myelin sheath, meaning that the speed is supposed to be faster. Those which have no myelin sheath, the speed is supposed to be slower. So now, speed will depend on whether you have a sheath or you don't have a sheath. You see? So the speed will depend, or will the speed determine whether the axon is having a sheath or not having a sheath, or axon being having no sheath and having a sheath will determine the speed? You understand? So the speed will depend whether the axon has the sheath or has no sheath. You understand? So it means that if the speed depends on the axon, then definitely we shall say that the speed is dependent on the axon, whether you have a sheath or you don't have a sheath. Number two, we also have another way. So you have to read the first two statements. That's where you can obtain where you can get independent variable or dependent variable. Then number two, we say this affects this. When you read an investigative question, they will say that this affects this. We want to determine the rate at which growth is happening under different light intensity. You see? Under different light intensity. You understand? So it means that the light intensity will determine under different light intensity. So it means that the light intensity will determine the speed at which this thing is growing. Do you understand? Yes. So that's how we look at it. I think I had organized a question like that. You see now here, they're saying, okay, I'll come back when it comes to this specific topic. Yes. Okay, let's start, guys. Let's go to homeostasis. And guys, when it comes here, what do you need to know? You just need to know the gland. Endocrine system is a system which involves, there is a difference between endocrine system and endocrine gland. Do you understand? There is a difference. There is a difference between endocrine system and endocrine. Endocrine system is the collection of glands that produce hormones to regulate the metabolic rate, basically the growth and development. Yes, but endocrine glands are the glands. Endocrine glands, the glands which are ductless. You understand? They produce secretion and then they produce it to the blood stream, and then they are taken to different target organs. So endocrine gland, endocrine system, please don't combine the two. Number two, hormone. What's the hormone? A hormone, you need to know the definition of the hormone. You understand? Yes. What does it do in the what? In the body. Yes. So once you know that, you have endocrine gland, exocrine gland. The question they can ask you here is one. Here, when it comes to endocrine gland, give me one example of a gland which is both endocrine and exocrine. You understand? You have endocrine. An example is a pancreas. Guys, don't confuse. Example is a pancreas. Endocrine gland, exocrine gland. The example is what? Pancreas. So endocrine gland, those ones, they are ductless. This is the key point, ductless. They release the hormones directly to the bloodstream, meaning that the blood will transport that hormone. Then exocrine gland, they have a duct. We call them duct glands. You understand? So once you know that, then you are cool. Hormones. We said these are organic compounds that are protein in nature, yes? And then they act as messenger in small amounts in the body. So you guys, you see what you're supposed to look at. Ne? When it comes here, it's not a big deal. So what I want to talk about is this. Bring a diagram, label it, give 2-3 functions of that part they have labeled. So just guys know that I have to label pituitary gland. Which hormone does it produce? LH, LFSH, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, I said LH, luteinizing hormone, prolactin. So know these functions. You understand? Yes. So basically, endocrine is not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Then when you go to another gland, it is this gland produces ADH, which is the antidiuretic hormone. Please know the spelling. It is better to know the spelling. When it comes to the terminologies, don't use symbols. Don't say LH. It's better to say a full word. Don't say ADH. It's better to say the full word. You understand? Yes. But if you rather say a full word and then you put it in bracket, you rather do that than just saying. You understand? You never know. Yes. So endocrine, I think you are getting there. Then, which gland? We said which gland is both endocrine and exocrine? Can I know in the comment section? I want to see which gland is both endocrine and exocrine. Put the answer in the comment section because we just talked about it. Ne? Yes. They're saying that which glands do we call the gonadal glands? These are the male and the female glands. So you need to know which hormone do they produce. So that's why I say that as long as you know this, you see this. Yes. As long as you know that, endocrine system is done. Just this. Know the part, function, part, function, part, function, part, function. Done. Don't waste time, man. Yes. Then after that, go practice questions. Here is some question. Let's go together. Study the diagram below and answer the question that follows. The hormone that's secreted by one of the gland labeled A. This is labeled A. Hormone, you see? Do you see what they are saying? As long as you know this, you'll find out that all the answers we are looking for here, they are here. They're saying that hormone secreted by gland A. You come here, what is gland A? You see? So you pick one hormone there. They're saying hormone secreted by gland A, labeled A, okay, hormone secreted by one of the glands, labeled A to D, has the following effect. Okay, sharp. Heartbeat increase, vasoconstriction of the blood to the gut, and then dilation of the pupil. So which hormone? You see? Now, once you know that, okay, they're saying A to D. Oh, so since you know all these hormones, check that hormone is here. They're saying increase the heartbeat. You see? They're saying that blood pressure increase, conversion of glycogen to glucose, skeletal muscles. You see? The diameter of the pupil. You see? That's what they're saying. Meaning that now I know the hormone. I told you that if you know, I repeat, If you know this simple diagram, endocrine is done. Okay, let's go to the next question. Give the letter and the name of the gland that secretes the hormone which bring about change in the list above. Give the letter and the name of the gland. So we have talked about the letter is C, and the name of the gland is adrenal gland. They're saying that explain the significance of each of the following. Heartbeat increasing. If you have the heartbeat increasing, what is happening? Basically, you have to take the blood is pumping the blood to the muscles so that more oxygen is there. You understand? And then more glucose is there. Muscles can work harder. You understand? Why? Because the respiration is taking place at a high speed. But the problem is when the respiration takes place at a high speed, what is going to happen? The carbon dioxide level is going to increase. Therefore, when you pump too much still, the blood will saturate at a very high speed. It means that now the carbon dioxide in the muscles will be taken away to where? To the lungs, and then carbon dioxide will be expelled. So that's what they are trying to mean in that regard. So they're saying that explain the significance of each of the following, or say pupil dilates. When the pupil dilates, more light will enter the eye, and then once more light enters the eye, what happens? You will be able to see. And then explain the relationship between the gland A and the kidney on a hot day. Gland and the kidney. You understand? Gland A, where is gland A? Gland A, yes, and the kidney on hot day. When you talk about gland A, now you are talking about which hormone is being produced. You understand? So if that hormone, what are they saying? Explain the relationship between gland A and the kidney on hot day. So which hormone is being produced, and then on hot day, what happens to the kidney? Remember, the kidney, there is a special structure which we call the nephron. So the nephron will have to release more what? More urine. You understand? Meaning that here they are talking about sweating. What is going to happen on sweating? So it means that you have to talk about controlling the body temperature, because on hot day you have to control body temperature by decreasing the heat downwards. So that's why here they are talking about the amount of water which you have in the body must be controlled, because you keep sweating, and then when you sweat, it means that you are regulating the amount of water in the body. So you guys, basically what they want, once you know this, in the negative feedback, in the endocrine, you'll be able to answer those questions. Okay, when it comes to negative feedback mechanism, whether it is carbon dioxide, is glucose, is can I tell you something? It is the same story. Let me show you how. Okay, let me use here a blank page. You have this normal level of whatever. Then you have increase, then you have decrease. I'm showing you how you're gonna get marks here without stressing. If things are bad, still you can get a mark. You understand? You can get a what? You can get a mark. Okay, now you have down there. You see? Now, if here you have low, if you have here low, here you're going to have increase. Here, if you have drop, here you're going to have, oh, if here I have high, if here I have high level, here I'm going to have, when it comes back here, I'm going to have low or drops. Then I have two sections I'm supposed to fill in. Even this side, I have two sections I'm supposed to fill in. For example, now, let me get an example here from our question. Let's use glucose. You understand? If the level of glucose increase, what is the last statement? The level of glucose drops. If the level of glucose decrease, what is the last statement? The level of glucose increases. So it means that if they say low, the last statement must be increases or rises. You get to those 2 marks now. So I'm looking for this mark and this mark. Done. I'm looking for this mark and this mark. Done. It is the same thing. Let me show you even another one. When I have decrease in the level of water, what is there? More water is, meaning that there will be an increase in the level of water, isn't it? So you see that now it alternates. Even here, if I have decrease, here I have increase. I think. Yes, so it must not be a big problem here. So now number 2, you need to know the gland and the function of that gland. Simple. Even if you go here, decrease, increases, you see? Increases, decreases. The gland, you see? Gland, which is adrenal gland, secretes either more or less, depending on what is it. Adrenal gland secretes more aldosterone. What happens? If it secretes more aldosterone, it means that more reabsorption of sodium ion, and then it increases. So you need to know now the gland and what is the function of that gland and what is the effect of that hormone produced by that gland. In actual sense, when you say the function of that gland, what hormone does that gland produce? So you talk about the gland and you talk about the hormone it produces. Is it clear? Yes. So I think that one is clear. So then we are saying that you need to know, since that one is done, also if you go back here, then we are saying that here and here, it's the same thing. Pancreas secretes more ADH. You see, so not pancreas. Pituitary gland produces more ADH. That's the gland. And then the pancreas, what will happen? The permeability. What is the function of ADH? The permeability of the collecting duct and distal convoluted tubule will increase. You see, it's the function of the ADH. And then the level of water in the blood will increase, and then it goes back to normal. Lastly, on this, when it's going up, doesn't mean that it is high. It can be low, it can be high. So if you put your body like this, doesn't mean this is always up, but sometimes you draw a river going up like this. Does it mean that the river is flowing upwards? No. So it's just the way how you do these things. All right. So we are saying that yes. All right. So we are continuing with our discussion. So lastly is about the skin. I don't want to talk about too much here, but when they say from hot to the cold, what are you supposed to explain? Explain the last. Don't explain, maybe you came from cold to hot and then you explain cold. No, you explain the last. So for example, we are saying that on hot day, what will happen? The hypothalamus sends the impulse to the blood vessels. You see, the hypothalamus will send the impulse to the blood vessels. Cool. After sending the impulse to the blood vessels, what will happen? The blood vessels will dilate. The word dilate is a mark. This is called vasodilation. You see? And then now, what happened? More blood will flow to the skin. and then more heat is lost. You see, and then more blood vessel is sent to the sweat gland. You see, more blood is sent to the sweaty gland. So that's what you are looking at. So if they say that Karabo was locked in a room, you understand? It was 10 degrees Celsius. You understand? Explain how did Karabo manage to survive in that room. So in this case, 10 degrees Celsius is cold. So you explain cold day. You understand? So in this case, you talk about cold day. So you tell us that hypothalamus is stimulated, send the impulse to the blood vessels become constricted. This is called vasoconstriction. It's a mark. This is called vasoconstriction. It's a mark. Less blood will flow through the skin, and then meaning that the less blood is gonna be sent to the sweat gland. The sweat gland is gonna become less active, and then now it means that if the less the sweat gland becomes less active, it means that less sweat is gonna be produced, and then this makes less evaporation, and then leading to the cooling of the what? Less cooling of the what? Of the skin. So basically meaning that you have to be less evaporation. Oh yes. Here is a question. Let's just do one question and then we go. So when you look at it, how do I know it is cold day, is warm day, or it's hot day? When you look at this, you see it's sweat, meaning that it's a hot day. When you look at this and this, you see the blood vessels here, they are too small, while the blood vessels here, they are big. So meaning that this is hot day, while this is cold day. Is it clear? Yes. So guys, make sure that you know how to explain this. If you look at this diagram, you see that the sweat is there. Here there is no sweat. It means that this is cold day, this is hot day. I see. And then now if you look at the evidence that these blood vessels are, there's vasodilation here. Here is vasoconstriction. So that's it. That's how you're supposed to explain. Supposed to explain. All right. Guys, are we together? If you have any challenge, you let me know. Ne? You let me know. Yes. So we go to the next question. Do we have study all homeostasis process, or the specific part we have to study? We do have to study the whole process of homeostasis, but there are some parts we're supposed to focus on. You understand? Yes. Okay, let's go to the next question. Here, when it comes to phototropism, need to know those three hormones. The first one is auxins, gibberellins, abscisic acid. What is auxins used for? Auxins is a growth promoter. You understand? So you need to know that auxins are found, growth promoter auxins are found at the tip of the shoot or root. Auxins are diffusive substance. Auxins, these are just, you need to know them. Why? Because sometimes when they ask you a question, they are related to this, and then you end up losing it. You understand? So when you come here, I say that when you are explaining the unilateral light, then you explain when the shoot is exposed to unilateral light, yes, what happens? The auxins move or diffuse to the dark side. Why? Why do they move to the dark side? Because, yes, they are sensitive to light. We talked about it here, that they are sensitive to light. You see? And then now, the auxin concentration will be higher on the side which is dark. You understand? And then remember, auxins, we said here that they are growth promoters. So it means that the dark side will grow more than the light side faster. You understand? And then what happens? It causes the shoot to bend. So when auxins equal distribution of light, it will be like that. But now if light is coming from this direction, they will diffuse to the dark side. Then the dark side, because it has more auxins, will grow faster than the light side. You understand? So the dark side, once it grows faster than the light side, it means that now the shoot is going to bend toward the source of what? Toward the source of light. So basically that's what you need to explain in there. Geotropism, sometimes you call it gravitropism. This is the response to gravity. You understand? So now is growth of a plant in response to gravity. Is it clear? When the plant root growing downwards is called positive geotropic. When it's growing out, then it's called it negative geotropic. But now that's not what we want too much. This is what we want too much. When the root is placed horizontally, what happens? The oxygens move to they diffuse to the lower side due to gravity, and then now the oxygen concentration will be high on the lower side than the upper side. You understand? So the upper side will grow faster than the lower side, and then what happens? The root will bend towards the yes. So this instrument, guys, is used to prevent the bending effect. We call it a clinostat. Sometimes we bring it in the terminologies. We call it a clinostat. Then lastly, the defense mechanism, it is thorns, and then that is physical, and then we have chemical, which we use they tend to kill or to scare away the herbivores. You understand? So these are poison to the herbivores. So if they eat them, they die. So basically, it's chemical method, and then we have the mechanical method or the physical method, which we call the thorns. So those are the two types. So if we bring such a question, what are you going to say? The diagram below shows represents the response of two different plant to external stimuli. Name the group of the plant hormone that is responsible for the growth, yes, response observed in the diagram. If you look at it, you have A and you have D, isn't it? It's showing A and then it's showing D. They're saying that name the external stimulus at A. So what is happening here? If this thing is bending this side, it means that this side is growing too much, meaning that this is light. While if is bending this side, look. So what is happening there? Meaning that this side is growing faster. So when I say that, name the group of plant hormone that is responsible for growth response observed in the diagram. So they are saying group of plant hormones. So in this case, we are looking at the auxins, which we said it here that they are responsible for growth. You see, they are growth inhibitors in roots, and they are growth promoter in in the shoot. So they are responsible for growth. So you see, these are the auxins they are talking about. So now, if they ask you, once they bring a question like this, how are you supposed to answer? Give one observable reason why plant organ B is a stem. Why plant organ B? Why do you say that this is a stem? Because you see, the high concentration of auxin, yes, will have to grows faster than the part which has no, or which has less concentration of auxins, leading to the shoot to bend to the stimulus. You understand? Yes. So basically, and then if you look at this, what is happening here is now the look. What is happening here? It now the auxin will be this side. You see, the auxins will be this side, and this side where auxins is, it means that because it's bending downwards, it means that there is high concentration of auxins here, and then now it's not bending. But now, why is it that it's not bending? Because we say that here auxins in roots, they are growth inhibitor. You see, in roots here, auxins in roots, they are growth inhibitor. So meaning that the high concentration of auxin in roots will inhibit the growth of that plant. Is it clear? Yes. So meaning that this is phototropism, while this one is geotropism, or this is a stem and then this is a root. Yeah. Let's go to the big topic. Yes. Human reproduction. What are you supposed to talk about here? Guys, when it comes to human reproduction, you need to know that diagram. That diagram is very, very, very important. You need to know the parts, seminal vesicle, Cowpass gland, and then prostate gland. The functions of each, you need to know them. So you need to know epididymis, but I'm not going to go through this. What I want is, why do testes hang outside? The testes hang outside to provide favorable temperature for sperm production, which is 2 degrees less than the body temperature, or 35, to provide favorable temperature for sperm production, which is 35 degrees Celsius. You understand? Yes. If we cut this with the vasectomy, sorry, the vas deferens, will the individual be able to fertilize an individual, a female? The answer is no. Why? Because the sperms cannot move from this point, which is the epididymis. So when they come, they will be stopped here. But the individual will be able to cause HIV because there are other fluids which are being produced. Is it clear? Yes. And also during copulation, there is some lubrication, some friction which happens, and then they're able to have some contamination. Then lastly, they can ask you a question. Yes, why do testes hang outside? So we have answered that. Where are the testes? Where are the sperms produced from? Which cells are responsible for production of the sperms? Then which cells produce nutrients to the developing sperms? So you see all those questions. Then they can ask you which cells produce testosterone. So all those are the questions they can ask you in this regard. Is it clear? Yes. So the function of testosterone, development of the male development of the male secondary sexual characteristics. You have to know that beards and stuff, and then stimulates the maturation of the sperms. Maturation of the sperms. So these 3 glands, we call them accessory glands. Sometimes it comes in the terminology, and then someone is failing it. This one, cells of Leydig, and then satellite cells. Please know them. Why? Cells of Leydig is responsible for production of testosterone, and then satellite cells is responsible for nourishing or providing nutrients to the developing sperms, which called the spermatozoa. And then this structure is what called the seminiferous tubes, which is found in the testes. Yes. So I think I'm done with that. I'm going to do some questions in there, and then let me see here. Give you a simple question. So let's do this question, and then we see. Identify part A. What is part A? We see that what you need to do is follow. The first is called Cowpass gland. The second one is called prostate gland. Then as you go out, yes, as you go out like this, you have the Cowpass gland. Then after that, you go in here. So now let's label it. A is Cowpass gland. B is prostate gland. Then C is, because it is going like this, it is vas deferens. We don't call it sperm duct, vas deferens. D is epididymis. E is testis. And then F is scrotum. G is urethra. H is what is H? Do I need to say H? Is the penis. So they're saying identify A, C, D, H. So I think we have got it right. Then they're saying that give the letter and the name of the part that stores sperms temporarily. Stores sperms temporarily. You see? Now, since you know this diagram, then you'll be able to understand that. You see? As I told that, you have to know this diagram. Yes. So it stores sperms temporarily. So we're going to say that it is the epididymis. So where is it? Epididymis stores sperms and allows them to mature. That's the meaning. Then they're saying that transport both semen and urine. It means that the urethra, because that's when the sperms are being released with the urine. Everything, it transports those things out of the penis. So it is the urethra, which is G. But they said letter and a name, letter and a name. Then they're saying transport both semen and urine, produce testosterone. Produce testosterone, so it is, the answer is E, which is the testis. Produce, yeah, we are done with that. Give the letter and letter of two parts that contributes to formation of semen. So there is a difference between semen and the sperms. Sperms is the spermatozoa which come from the testis, while semen, if you add this from the seminiferous tube, you add this from the prostate gland, and then you add this from the cowpath gland, you add it with the sperms, then you form what called the semens. So when they are saying that name two parts that contribute to the formation of semen, then it means that you can talk about this, you can talk about this, you can talk about this, and you can talk about that. But in this case, we only have A, B, and E, because cowpath gland was not labeled. So I think now I'm clear about it. Then that diagram is done. Let's go to the next question. Some description here for female reproductive system. All right. Someone is saying that is not seminovesical. Is saying what? How many tropism do we have in this topic? Tropism. We only have. Do we have all? Yeah, we only have geotropism and phototropism. Yes, geotropism and phototropism. Okay. Then we go to the next question. Female reproduction. Here you have to know also how to label this. Ne? Guys, you have to know how to label that. So if you know how to label that, then now let's find out. Sometimes what we ask you, what is the second name for this? It's a vagina. Then this is a uterus. How is it adapted to its function? Yes. Then they can ask you here, if this is blocked, will this person be able to impregnate others? Will be able to fall pregnant? Yes, because it has the second ovary. Then which site is for fertilization? It is the fallopian tube. Which hormones are produced by the ovary? Is estrogen and progesterone. You understand? And then which part of this female reproductive system dilates during birth? So it is the cervix. You understand? It is the cervix. And then yeah, that's what usually ask you about a female reproductive system. And then function part or part function. Yes. All right. So now, number 2, this menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle, we have the ovarian cycle, and then you have the uterine cycle. So you have to know this. They can ask you, is this individual pregnant? The answer is no. Why? Because the corpus luteum is shrinking. While here, the corpus luteum, the Graphical follicle is developing. Here, after this point is ovulation, the corpus luteum is shrinking, meaning that this person did not become pregnant. If this person was pregnant, it would have remained big like that. You understand? So the individual is not pregnant. So we have two ways in which we can identify the person is pregnant or not. I thought I'd put it there. Yes. Let me just show you using this. So now let's look at it. You have this. So this is an ovum, is developing ovum inside the mature Graphical follicle. Then here you have what? You have corpus. You have ovulation. This is ovum is being released during this process. So this one changes into the empty Graphical follicle, which is empty Graphical follicle, which we call corpus luteum. Yes, so structure C is corpus luteum, but because it is generating, then it means that this individual is not pregnant. So since the individual is not pregnant, then it means that even the level of progesterone is gonna drop. If the level of progesterone drops, what happens? Then it means that the follicle stimulating hormone is going to be stimulated again. The periodic gland is going to be stimulated again to produce more FSH, and then now the cycle will continue. So we can look at this, or we can look at this, because this is ovarian cycle, this is uterine cycle. Is this individual pregnant? The answer is no. Why? There is degeneration of the endometrium. Number 2, we have menstruation at the end. We don't look at the menstruation at the beginning, we look at the menstruation at the end. If the menstruation there's no menstruation at the end, then automatically we don't classify it as that individual being pregnant. You understand? Yes. So the individual is not pregnant. Why? Because towards the end of the menstrual cycle, the individual entered the menstruation. You understand? So this one is just to show that the cycle is starting and then it continues like that. Yes. All right. So I think we should do some few questions. Now you need to know yes. Yes, I'm back. So we are saying that, sir, are we doing human impact tomorrow? No, we don't do human impact. Human impact. Human impact? No, we don't do human impact. Human impact was those previous years. We're no longer doing it anymore. All right. Let's continue. So you need to know how to draw the structure of a sperm and the structure of the ovum. Guys, when it comes to the structure of the sperm and the structure of the ovum, draw the proportionality. It must be there. For example, not good in drawing, eh? But there is no scientist who don't know how to draw. Okay, you know these gadgets we are using. Okay, I'm just showing, I want to show you something, eh? So if you look at this, the proportionality, this thing must be longer, né? And this must be bigger, must be pointed. Then you have to answer, you have to label this. Yes. So question, 3 ways we can ask you. Explain how the sperm is adapted to its function. This is it. You see, some people, they draw the sperm like this. No, we don't have such, unless when you are saying that our heads are like this. Our heads are not like that. Yes, you see? Yeah, they are a little bit pointed. Ne? Yes. So now you have to show us this shape that is a little bit pointed. And then you have to show us the middle piece, the mitochondria inside. Then you have to show us the flagellum or the tail moving. Then now you have to tell us that, explain how, you see how it is here? This is what the way how we want it. Then you explain, but here you have to add the mitochondria inside there. Then you explain how sperm is adapted to its function. It has the long tail to provide forward force for this sperm to move, or propulsion force. Yes. And then it has the middle piece, which has the mitochondria, you understand, to provide energy. Then it has the nucleus for genetic information, for inheritance. And then you have the acrosome, which contains enzyme for digesting the membrane of the ovum during fertilization. You see, that is the general question. But they can ask you that, explain or give how is the sperm adapted for locomotion? Then now here you have to talk about the tail, and then you have to talk about the middle piece. The tail, you talk about that long, yes, to provide enough propulsion force for sperm movement, or to provide enough forward force, yes. Then you talk about the middle piece has mitochondria to provide energy still to make the sperm move forward. Then that's it. They can ask you a question: how is the sperm adapted to its function, or how is the sperm adapted for what? For fertilization. Sorry. Yes. So fertilization. Here we talk about when you talk about the head, basically the head. In this case, what are you supposed to talk about the head? It has the acrosome. Acrosome contains enzymes which digest the membrane of the ovum during fertilization. Then you talk about the nucleus which contains genetic information for inheritance. Basically, that's what you're supposed to talk about when it comes to that. Yes. All right. Huh. So you guys, do we do human? Okay, guys, if you have a question, you let me know. Someone is saying that lioness. Okay, lioness. Can we also to about the oval shape of the head able for to facilitate movement? Can we talk about? Okay, he's saying that. Can we talk about the oval shape of the head? Yeah, unless the questions are the points are finished. That's when you can talk about it. But it could be cool. So that's why I'm saying that when you are drawing this structure of the sperm, please do not use the round shape. It must be the oval shape, so that 100% you are right. Yeah, the oval shape, yes, it facilitates. Why? Because it's able to move in that direction. Have you ever asked yourself why the car is like that? Why the aeroplane is like that? Just to reduce the resistance when it's moving. You understand? Yes. And when we bring this question, guys, look. You have this, you have this and this, you have this and this, you have this and this. Then you have here, look, I think, let me do like this. I seeing that. So what does it mean? This one means that these ones are what? What are this? What is A and what is B? Basically, A is their sperms, and B is ovum. Why? Because all of them are of the same size. While B is ovum, these ones are small, you see? Meaning that it's only one ovum, because an individual is supposed to produce one ovum at the end of the day. So this is ovum, so it means that this is oogenesis. And then this is spermatogenesis. Sometimes we ask you what is the number here. It's 2n, it's 1n, 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 1n. Meaning that this is 46, this is 23, this is 23 each. Meaning that this is meiosis, meiosis 1, and then this is meiosis 2. Do you get it, guys? Yes, that's what you're supposed to look at. You're supposed to look at that. Ne? Yes, and then here is the same thing. It is 2n, meaning that is 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs. This is 1n, meaning 23 pairs, 23 chromosomes. Yeah, but remember, only one develops during oogenesis. You understand? So that now if they ask you to draw the structure of the cell at the end of meiosis for this reaction, for this process, then it means that you draw the ovum. It has that, and then it has the inner layer, and then it has that. Meaning that this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. So you talk about the nucleus there, you talk about the cytoplasm there, then you talk about the cell membrane. Cell, someone is gonna say jelly-like layer. Cell membrane. Is there a cell without a membrane? No. So the outer one is the jelly like layer. So we prefer to make this one, the outer one, not straight when it's like that. That's why when you look at the distinction material stuff or brick, you'll find out that you'll see it's a gel-like layer. Yeah. So guys, the process of spermatogenesis, process of oogenesis, we don't talk about those complex processes. It's just a simple process like this. Yeah, the process of under the influence of follicle-stimulating hormone, the diploid cell in the ovary undergoes mitosis to form numerous follicles. One follicle or one cell inside the follicle, yes, what happens? It enlarges and then now it undergoes meiosis, and then out of the 4 cells, only one, yes, will survive and then develop into the haploid ovum. So basically, that's what you need to talk about. And then spermatogenesis is the same story. Under the influence of testosterone, the diploid cells in the seminiferous tubes undergo, they undergo, meiosis to form 4 haploid sperm cells, which you call the spermatozoa. Yeah, I think you saw even I did a video about spermatogenesis or in the seminiferous tubes. I did cut the testes and I showed you what happens. How do the testes look inside? Yeah. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen yourself, Baba? Yeah, I showed the structure of the testes, Baba. All right. Yeah. So guys, menstrual cycle, let me just talk about the negative feedback mechanism of the menstrual hormones. Yes, the menstrual hormones. Mitochondria, function of the mitochondria. Someone is saying that the function of mitochondria, it provides energy. Yes, it provides the what? The energy. Yes. Let's continue, guys. If you have a question, let me know. Let me know so that I can smash it. I want to smash that question. Yes, I want to smash that question. Let's go. So I think when we come here, the menstrual cycle, in terms of the graphs, guys, let me show you what you're supposed to look at. Did the fertilization take place? If you look at this, when and why that hormone increases at that specific time. When and how that hormone increases at that specific time. I repeat. All right. When you see a hormone increases sharply on day 14, that is luteinizing hormone. And what is the function of that? What happens on day 14? Ovulation. Definitely that hormone is luteinizing hormone responsible for triggering ovulation. Done. When you see a hormone which increases immediately after ovulation, that is progesterone. Why? Because progesterone is responsible for maintaining pregnancy. Can you be pregnant before the production of the ovum? No. Done. When you see progesterone decreasing, you see, this is progesterone. You see, it increases immediately after ovulation, meaning that it maintains pregnancy. How does it maintain pregnancy? By making the endometrium wall, need to see that word more thicker, more vesicular, more granular. Maintains the pregnancy by making the endometrium wall more thicker, more vesicular, more granular. Then, when you see progesterone decreasing, dropping, it means that that individual is not pregnant. Yes. What does it mean? It means that the structure of corpus luteum must also decrease because corpus luteum produces progesterone. So if corpus luteum decreases, definitely progesterone level will also drop. And once the progesterone level drops, what happens? It means that once the corpus luteum shrinks, then automatically the level of progesterone also gonna drop because progesterone is produced by corpus lorium. So we have one evidence to show that this individual is not pregnant by saying that this, if you see the ovum is small, sorry, the corpuscle is shrinking, then automatically we shall say that this individual is is becoming more and more and more and more. Anyway, when you see the structure of corpus luteum shrinking, then it means that this individual is not pregnant. And then automatically it is gonna produce less and less and less progesterone. Then automatically the level of progesterone is gonna drop. And then once the level of progesterone is dropping, it's like you had poured water on the sponge and then you are squeezing it. At first, this endometrium had absorbed too much blood, and then now progesterone is not there to maintain that. Then automatically it's gonna shrink, it's gonna tear, and then blood is gonna start to ooze out or to come out, and then now, menstruation, dirty. I always say that nice blood. Someone's gonna say, "Oh, is it nice? Oh, if it's not nice, oh, you nice? Okay, I don't know." Right? So I think I'm clear there. So I've talked about progesterone. I've talked about luteinizing hormone. Is it clear? Now, we know that follicle stimulating hormone is responsible for developing the Graphian follicle. And the Graphian follicle be there before day 14? Because Graphian follicle, the mature Graphian follicle is the one which produce progesterone. Did I say right? Yeah, the Graphian follicle is the one which produces the ovum. And then now, if the Graphian follicle has not developed, automatically ovulation cannot take place. It means that we cannot have ovulation before the development of the Graphian follicle. Which hormone is responsible for developing the Graphian follicle? The answer is already there. Follicle stimulating hormone. The hormone which stimulates the follicle. Follicle stimulating hormone. The hormone which stimulates the Graphian follicle. Is it clear? Yes. So it means that now this hormone which increases before day 14 is the first hormone to increase. You just need to know that. The first hormone to increase is follicle stimulating hormone, followed by estrogen, because now once follicle is there, it's gonna make the Graphian follicle to increase in size. Then the Graphian follicle is going to produce estrogen. Now that's when estrogen is going to start preparing what? The uterus for implant. That's why it increases, it only drops when it is towards ovulation. You understand? So in other words, let me wrap up this. We say that hormone which increases on day 14, luteinizing hormone. It only spike on day 14. Hormone which increases immediately after day 14 is progesterone. The first hormone to increase is follicle stimulating hormone. The second hormone to increase before day 14 is estrogen. We don't have any other hormone there. Then now we go to day 14, luteinizing hormone. And then now you go immediately after day 14 is progesterone. You see? Simple. All right. Cooperation. Do we need to talk about cooperation? The insertion of they asked this question and then people were getting it wrong. Yeah. Let me just talk about the process, this development of the zygote until implantation. I like this guy. I think that guy is from. He likes to design those nice songs. Ne? Yeah, sometimes it's better to create other people who are doing the same job like you. You understand? Yeah, he's doing a very great job. Ne? Don't know his name, but he's doing a very great job. Ne? Yeah, I want to know how scrotum react in the hot and cold temperature. Someone from WhatsApp is asking me, he wants to know how scrotum react during, and is a boy who's asking me that. So you don't know how the scrotum react during hot and cold? Really? Yeah. All right. Scrotum during cold, they contract. You understand? When they shrink, it shrinks and then it pulls the testes up so that it can get more heat. And then during hot, because it's too hot, then they are relaxed. Once they relax, they go down and then now smash. Riabet. Riabire. You're saying smash. You want to smash? Okay, let's smash. Let's smash it. Let's smash it. All right. Let's smash this question. How do we write in exam the most important part? Explain what happens when the zygote is formed immediately after fertilization. What happens until implantation? 6 marks. This is what you say. Since they have said zygote, you don't have a mark for you saying a zygote. Or if they ask you what happens immediately after fertilization until implantation, then you say after fertilization, the zygote undergoes mitosis. The zygote is a mark. But if they mention zygote in a question paper, then it means that you won't get a mark for you mentioning zygote. But it can help you to link the story. You understand? So the zygote undergoes mitosis. Another mark. To form a ball of, you saying a ball of cells is a mark. Then you tell us, how do you call that ball of cells? You call it morula. Not amarula, morula. Yes. They're saying it divides mitotically or by mitosis to form a hollow ball of cells. A ball with a hole. Which hole? This hole. A ball with what? Hole. Yes. How do you call that ball with a hole? We call it blastula. Yeah. So blastula is another mark. And then it forms the outer layer. This outer layer. How do you call that outer layer? We call it the chorion. The chorion, once you form the chorion, what is the function of the chorion? It forms finger-like projection. Finger-like projection. Once you start vomiting, something is finger-like projection. I won't say it like that, but I'm saying something is happening in the womb. You understand? Because now the hormonal changes are there. You start to vomit. You are joking. Finger-like projection, which we call the chorionic villi. What is it for? For implantation. You see, finger-like projection. We call them chorionic villi for implantation. So, finger-like projection, called the chorionic villi, is a mark. What is it for? For implantation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Out of 9, they give you 6. What do you want? Marks that there. This life science is not bad, ne? We need to smash the paper. Tomorrow, we need to smash the paper. Let's continue. This is the only paper you can't fail because you practice life science every day. Are you not practicing life science? If you don't practice life science, let me know in the comment. That you and I don't practice life science every day. I'll ask you if you don't sleep. All right, let's continue, guys. That's the story for another day. The diagram below represents the sequence of events that may take place inside the human female reproductive system. Okay, we have a lot of questions and organized a lot of questions for you for this. You see, even another question is there. Maybe we can use this or we can use that. Either way. Identify the process that takes place in one. You see what's happening here. It is fertilization. Name to state the type of cell division that takes place. 2, it is mitosis. And then they say name 2 function extra embryonic membrane that are produced by C. Yes, this one. Yes, they're saying 2 amniotic chorion. First one is the chorion, and then the amniotic sac. Yes, and then identify the development indicated by A. What is A? A, it is a zygote, because after this fertilization has taken place, you form one cell. That one cell is what called a zygote. It means that this one has 23, meaning 1N. Even this one has 23, which is the 1N. So this one is a diploid now, because the sperm is 1N plus the ovum is 1N. So you form a diploid, which is 23, 23, then this is 46. So all this now, after fertilization, it becomes diploid. Is it clear, guys? Let me know if you have questions, ne? Yeah, I will help sort that out. Okay. We need we can't see. You can't see what? Uh, you can't see what now? Oh man, sorry. Okay, let me do it like this. Can you see now? Sorry. I think next time I must do. I must do. Next time I must do. Just a moment. I must do when you can join and then we talk. Yeah, for paper two. Paper two. You join and then we talk. Just a moment. Let me just send you a link here so that you are able to. Oh, yeah. Just I'm sending you a link here in the. Yes. I want to send you a link so that you're able to get things easily. Yes. It's there. Cool. Yes. I'm sending you this link. Yes. Yeah. I think I've put it there. Just in case you want to join our channel, yeah, you'll be able to get it. All right. Name the part of the female reproductive system where the event in the diagram above usually takes place. This is the fallopian tube. It all happens from in the fallopian tube. You see, that's what happens here. The fallopian tube, yeah, it happens here, and then now it comes into the uterus. All right. When you look at this question, what are they saying? They are saying uh, um, identify what is A. If you look at this is fertilization, eh? And then now when you go to like this is the zygote. This is, do we say this is the ball of cells? No, we can count the cells. These are 4 cells. While D is the ball of cells, and then this one is a hollow ball of cells, you see, which we call the blastula, morula, 4 cells, zygote, fertilization. Okay. Then now identify what is B. So we have seen it. It is B. It is a zygote. D. We say the hollow is a ball of cells, morula. E is a hollow ball of cells, which is blastula. Name the process taking place at A. Process that takes place at A, we say it is fertilization. The inner wall of the uterus where E implants, we call it endometrium. State the type of cell division that takes place at C. The type of cell is mitosis. How many chromosomes are normally found in H? H, remember this is before fertilization, therefore is 23 chromosomes. Did I say it's a human cell? Yeah, they said it's a human body. Yes. It is 23. Guys, take note of that. Sometimes it's not a human cell, so you can't say 23. Yes. Identify the extra embryonic membrane. G. G. Where's G now? Oh, this which we call the chorion. You see, it's easy, guys. We can answer these things so that you're able to, yes. And then now this is endocrine versus reproduction. Gland A, what is gland A? It is the pituitary gland. So it produces a hormone. We say that the one which triggers ovulation. We said which hormone is that? We say that hormone is luteinizing hormone, LH. And then you're saying that C is ovum. The process is ovulation. So gland A, we said it. B, structure B. What is structure B? Is the mature Graphian follicle. It's better to say mature Graphian follicle. What is process C? Process C, it is ovulation. Structure D. Structure D. Now, once it raises the ovum, then we call it the empty Graphian follicle, which is corpus luteum. So the name is corpus luteum. State the effect of estrogen level in the blood if gland A stops to secrete FSH. State the effect on estrogen level in the blood if gland A stops secreting FSH. Yeah, what will happen on the estrogen in the blood if gland A stops secreting? If this gland A stops secreting, then automatically the estrogen level is gonna drop. Why? Because there will be no development of the Graphian follicle. Remember, estrogen is being produced by Graphian follicle. So now the Graphian follicle is not developing. So what will happen? Then definitely what will happen? It won't be able to develop. State one function of LH. One function of LH. It triggers the ovulation and also stimulates the conversion of the empty Graphian follicle to corpus luteum. Yes. They're saying that repeat A, B, C answers. A, B, C answers. Don't get you. Let me check here and see. A, B, C. Okay. Saying that this is what I was saying that. A, we say that A is pituitary gland hypophysis. B, structure B is mature Graphian follicle. C, process. They are looking at this process which led to the production of the ovum. You understand? So if they're saying the process is ovulation, but if they were asking about this structure, it is ovum. But they're saying the process. Then structure D is corpus luteum. We say that when this Graphian follicle releases the ovum, then it becomes empty. So we call it the empty Graphian follicle. But we don't call it empty Graphian follicle as the name. It's just a description. So we call it corpus luteum. Please don't confuse corpus luteum and corpus callosum. You understand? Yes. Now let's look at this graphical work, because the only thing now which is remaining here is so we saw that umbilical guys. Before I go to the graphical work, umbilical vein, umbilical artery. Remember artery away, vein 2. So artery with away, meaning that if this is the baby, that's the artery. Takes what are you taking away from the baby? The wastes and the blood with the which has deoxygenated blood with the low oxygen levels. So it is waste and the deoxygenated blood is through the umbilical artery. You understand? Then the nutrients, you understand? Because the vein takes blood to the heart. The nutrients with the blood which is having high concentration of oxygen, then we call it the umbilical vein. Is it clear? Yes. So that is it. Then we go to the next question. We got the next question. What are they saying? Then other functions of placenta is responsible for nutrition, protection, gaseous exchange, excretion, and endocrine function. So these are the normal functions of the placenta. You understand? Yes. But remember, sometimes they say that the structure which produces progesterone after 12 weeks. So it's a placenta. It's no longer corpuscular. After 12 weeks, it's no longer the corpuscular. We call it a what? A placenta. So the placenta is responsible for production of progesterone after 12 weeks. Yes. So after this, we're gonna go to human impact on the environment, a human response to the environment, human response to the environment, and then I'll just highlight what you're supposed to look at. So let's just go through the graphical work and some of the negative feedback mechanism of the hormones in reproduction. You understand? Yes, negative feedback mechanisms of the hormones in what? In reproduction. Guys, if you have a challenge, let me know, because I told you that this class is live. This class is what? Is live. It's not just, it's live. All right. Here is the question. I wanted to give you, should I give you this one? Yes, it's nicer. Okay, let me first explain for you this. They're saying that the graph below represents the ovarian cycle, meaning that now we are looking at the ovary, not the uterus. Therefore, showing you, you see now this graph, it has two, meaning that if you look at the table, I remember that question. I remember that question where they brought a graph and asked you to draw a table. You understand? Yes. So hormone A, hormone A, hormone B. What you have hormone A, what happens? This is the level of hormone, and then this is the time, then the level of two ovarian hormone released during menstrual cycle. Yes, they're saying that hormone A, what is hormone A? And this is day 14. Remember, I said that hormone, yes, they're saying that uh, they're saying that hormone A, and then they're saying that hormone B. So there is that hormone which shoots on day 14. Do you understand? And then when it shoots on day 14, it doesn't come back. When it goes up, it can't go back again. No, it is luteinizing hormone. That's number one. Number two, if a hormone increases around day 7 there, yes, towards day 14, then we say that is estrogen, because it is preparing the uterus for implantation. You understand? So if you check this hormone, it increases too much when it's towards 7, started to increase rapidly. It decreases because now this hormone took its function. You understand? It took its function, which is increases immediately after day 14. We say that that hormone is what? That hormone is progesterone. Is it clear? So now they're saying that what effect does increase in the hormone A? Okay, what is hormone A? So hormone A, because increased around here, so it means that it is estrogen. That's why here they said estrogen. And then this one increases immediately after ovulation. That's what we say that that hormone is progesterone. What effect does an increase in hormone A have on the endometrium? We say that how does this hormone estrogen prepares uterus for implantation? It makes the endometrium or the uterus thick, vascular, and granular. You understand? It makes it thick, it makes it more blood vessel, which means vascular, and makes it more gland tissues. Yes, which is granular. Thick, vascular, and granular. How does estrogen prepares the uterus for implantation? By making it thick, vascular, and granular. I think. Yes. So these graphs, sometimes this is the problem to my students. When I talk about my students, I talk about my students on their channel. Yes. Can we continue? Then they are saying that what define ovulation? Yes. So when you talk about ovulation, is the release of a mature ovum from the ovary. Is the release of the what? Of a mature ovum from the ovary. So that is ovulation. Then they're saying that explain the evidence in the graph to indicate that there is no fertilization took place. Remember when I was explaining to you, you look at the three things. You look at the graphian, the copper sodium degenerating. You look at the progesterone level decreasing. You look at the endometrium if it is shrinking or if it is shedding to produce menstruation, to produce the blood. You understand? So now in this case we don't have the uterine cycle, so it's only ovarian cycle. So I have to look at the hormone, of which is progesterone. If I see that the progesterone level is decreasing, it increases, then after that decreases, then it means that there is no ovulation, there is no fertilization which took place. So we said that this is the progesterone which increases immediately. So now they are saying that which day, okay. Oh, I skipped a question, eh? Hey. Okay, let me first explain why the level of B prevent. Where did I see that question? Okay, define ovulation. We are done with that. On which day does the ovulation take place? So in this case, we're saying it is day 14. Which hormone secreted by pituitary gland stimulates the ovulation? We say it is LH. LH is the one which stimulates the hen. Explain why high level of hormone B prevent the development of follicle. Then it means that the person is pregnant. So when the level of B when the level of B is high, then it means that the person is gonna be pregnant. And then if follicle hormone is released now, then it means that you're gonna produce another ovum. So you can't be pregnant 7 months and pregnant 3 months. If you're pregnant once, you are pregnant. You understand? So what happens? It will stimulate the pituitary gland to produce less FSH. And if less FSH is produced, then it means that there will be no development of the Graphian follicle. So if progesterone level is high, it's going to stimulate the pituitary gland that, oh, bona, wait. Why are you waiting? Because there is something there in the womb. Yeah, so it stimulates the Graphian, the pituitary gland to produce this follicle-stimulating hormone, and then if less follicle-stimulating hormone is produced, then it means that there will be no new development of the Graphian follicle, and then the person will not produce the ovum. Yes, that's the meaning. Let me see 29. Why? Yeah, let me see why. High level of progesterone will inhibit the secretion of FSH. That's it. So that no new ovum produce. Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. Then they are saying that explain why, explain why there is high, explain the evidence in the graph to indicate that no, oh, this is the question I read. No fertilization took place during the menstrual cycle. So we say that the level of progesterone, check the level of progesterone. If I look at it, the level of progesterone is dropping. So if the level of progesterone is dropping, then automatically the person did not become pregnant. So progesterone level decrease, yeah, because of the copper sodium has degenerated. All right, explain the negative feedback mechanism that occurs when progesterone and FSH between the negative feedback mechanism when you have the progesterone, the FSH, and the progesterone. You understand? Progesterone. My handwriting is good. Okay. FSH and progesterone. So basically, once this is high, we said once the level of progesterone is high, it means that the person is going to be pregnant. And if the person is pregnant, the level, this will go here and stimulate it that please produce less FSH. Once less FSH is produced, then it means that the Graphian follicle will not develop. And once the Graphian follicle does not develop, what does it mean? It means that this individual will not be pregnant. Yes, that individual will not be pregnant. Yes, you understand? That's the meaning. So, when it goes to that, I think it is clear there. Give to, yes. So they told you that a high level of progesterone stimulates the pituitary gland to produce less FSH. This prevents the growth of new follicle. That's it. That's what I was trying to explain. So guys, the negative feedback mechanism is not that big. It's not that you just need to know how these things link with each other. Let me tell you something, guys. If you want to pass life science, it's not about how many times do you read. It's about how many times have you practiced past papers. If you do that, you are number one. Go revise different papers. You'll see how life science is easy for you. Because, can I tell you something? When I'm online, they don't say, there is no subject where they set new questions in this Mozambique. Go practice question papers. They just tilt a bit like this. They tilt a bit like this. They tilt a bit like this. You understand? Yes. So obviously, ovary will remain ovary. Ovum will remain the ovum. You understand? The brain, cerebrum will remain cerebrum. There's no way how you're gonna change it. So what are you going to set new? What? So it's matter of you. Just revise once, go practice questions. I'm telling you, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill it, you're gonna get a distinction, you're gonna be happy with the marks, and you're gonna be happy for you. That because you made it. Yeah. So let's continue. I think I'm done with the reproduction. Let me go to human response to the environment. Human response to the environment. Yeah, if you have a question, let me know. Someone is saying what? Someone is saying the thyroid gland. We hear you. All right. All righty. Since you hear me, I'm happy that you hear me. So guys, let me know if there is any big problem. If there is any big problem. If there is any big problem, let me know. Let me know. Let's go to human response environment. Here I'm not going to waste too much time. Yeah, it's a simple thing. It's cool time, man. Yeah, it's a cool time. All right. This one is, but don't forget, it has the biggest mark. You understand? But it has the simplest questions. Let me show you how. Okay, now here we are saying that the nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Do you get the idea? Do you get it? Do you get it? This is peripheral nervous system. Well, this is the central nervous system. Receptor effector, those ones, guys, you know. We say the central nervous system, it is divided into, the nervous system is divided into central and peripheral. So we say that if you're not in the center, where are you? On the bed, on the sides. Yes. So you have the brain, you have the spinal cord. There is a difference between the spinal cord and the spine. Those are not the same thing. When they say spinal cord, we mean it's something which is inside the spine. The spine is the vertebra. The bone, the backbone is the spine. The spinal cord is what is inside the vertebra. That white thing you see, that gray. Did you see the video I released, the one which is showing the spinal cord? Spinal cord under a microscope. If you didn't watch it, go and then look for it on Thundereduc. All right. By the way, don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Yeah. Your support is your subscription. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, let's continue. Peripheral nervous system is, if you're not in the center, you're on the sides. Whereby you have the autonomic nervous system, you have the somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system means the body. You understand? These are voluntary muscles. You understand? And then the autonomic nervous system, this is the one you don't have control over it. It is divided into the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. It works very, 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 very good when there is a time of emergency. Time of emergency. Yes. Time of what? Time of emergency. So, how is the brain protected? You need to know that. Cranium. Ne? Please don't say skull. Cranium, meninges. We don't need to know the names of the meninges. Piamara, Dioramara, arachnoid. We don't want to know that. We just want to know meninges. Simple. Don't complicate your problem yourself. Just say meninges. Simple. Go. Get marks. Boost or bust, whatever. Then cerebrospinal fluid. It's called the cerebrospinal fluid, meaning the part of the brain, part of the spinal cord. You understand? So when you say the cranium, we mean that. When you say the spine, this is the spine. Not spinal. Hey, this is not the spinal cord. This is the spine. What is inside the spine is what you call the spinal cord. I think now I'm clear in that regard. Don't confuse spinal cord with the what? With the spine. Yes. All right. Life is good, man. All right. Let's continue to the next one. Where can I get the distinction material book? Pass asked me a question. Where can I get the distinction material book? Someone is asking me where can I get the distinction material book? So, this is the distinction material book I'm talking about. Yeah. This the kid is asking me, where can you get this distinction material book? You order from us, ne? Yes. Or you go to the bookshops, those books are there, ne? Yes. You get a distinction from there, ne? Yes. All right. So we shall say that. He's saying that. So Dina Williams, you can contact me, or those numbers are there, or direct you where the bookshop is, or we can deliver it to you. All right, meninges. So I'm clear there. What is cerebrospinal fluid? It also protects the brain. It is cerebrum and the spinal fluid because it is part of what? Is part of the spinal cord. That's why we say that what protects the spinal cord? We say the cerebrospinal fluid and the vertebra. You understand? Yes. All right, let's continue. Here you need to know this diagram. The function. Cerebrum, hypothalamus. The only thing here I'm gonna talk about, sometimes when you bring these questions, we ask you which part of the brain is responsible for breathing. We don't tell you that it is involuntary action. We say is responsible for breathing. So now you go off because they said breathing. You ask yourself, that action is what? Is it involuntary? Is it voluntary? Is it a reflex action? What is it about? So breathing, you don't have control over breathing. So we shall say that the part of the brain is medulla oblongata. You see, breathing, which means that, yeah, around here. So which part of the brain which part of the brain connects the left and the right hemispheres together? So we call it corpus callosum. The reason why I've said corpus callosum, because some of you say corpus luteum as if your female reproductive system is here. No, corpus luteum is there in the female reproductive system. What is here is corpus callosum. Please don't confuse those two, né? Or otherwise we will laugh at you. And, oh, your female reproductive system is yeah, maybe because some people are just thinking about I didn't say anything. I'll say I didn't say anything. If you say I said anything, I didn't say anything. All right. Anyway, that's life. Yeah, we make mistakes, but sometimes the mistakes we do, they are huge. Okay, then we go to the next question. They're saying that um, when they ask you which part of the brain coordinates voluntary movements. When you say voluntary movement is different, coordinates voluntary movements is different from controls voluntary actions. Coordinates voluntary movement is this part, which is cerebellum. While voluntary actions, we are talking about the actions like stand up, sit, raise the hand. You understand? Voluntary actions. So please don't confuse those two. Ne? Voluntary actions are controlled by cerebrum, which we call it receives and it controls all the sensation. It controls all voluntary actions. You understand? And then there's a center for higher thought processes. Those are that we're talking about the brain. Which part of the brain? Cerebrum. You understand? Yes. Another thing where I saw a mistake, even in a final exam for May, June this year, they labeled this. And many people were saying that this is medulla oblongata. No, this is not medulla oblongata. The second swelling is the medulla oblongata. You understand? The first swelling is not medulla oblongata. The second swelling is medulla oblongata. So the first swelling is called a pons, but we're no longer asking you about the pons. So the first swelling is the pons. The second swelling, this second swelling is the medulla oblongata. When the memorandum came out, they said, okay, yeah. Then I said that, correct. They saw it maybe after. Sometimes it's not about the mistake. Sometimes when you are printing, the lines shift. You understand? Yeah. So you can give it a benefit of doubt. All right. Here is the question. What is A? You know, you have to know how to label these things. Ne? Yes. What is A? What is A is spinal cord. What is B? You see the second swelling. Ne? So it's medulla oblongata. They are not asking for this. No, they're asking for the second swelling. What is C? C is the bundle of fibers which connect the left and the right hemisphere and allows communication between the two hemispheres. You understand? So we call it corpus callosum. Then what is D? D is cerebrum. What is E? E is the medulla, is the cerebellum. You understand? So that's what you need to talk about. Write down the letter. Guys, sometimes kids lose marks here. They say the letter and the name. They just write the name. They say the letter. Don't leave this question unanswered. At least write A, write B, write E, whatever. I've just written. I don't know even what I've said is correct. You understand? They say the center that interprets test is not A. The center that interprets test is a sensation. So it's D. You understand? So the answer here is D. And then they regulates the heartbeat. You see? I just wrote A, B, C. You see? The center which regulates the heartbeat is regulated by medulla oblongata. You see? I got it right just by saying A, B, C. Don't leave those answers. And just by chance, you will get it right. You don't leave objective unanswered. You don't leave such questions unanswered. You understand? Sometimes you get it correct and you enjoy the life, man. Yes. So, so the answer here is B. So what is B here? It is medulla oblongata. Then irresponsible for motor coordination. Oh my God. It's the correct answer is E. Oh, even the answer is that. You see what I'm saying? Don't just leave. Don't just leave. You understand? When they say letter and the name, at least if you don't know the name, just put the letter. Just put so that you guys you are able to score a mark which you might, yes, you just leave it just like that. Ne? Yes, you guys. Yeah. I love it when you guys you perform well. Ne? I love it so much if when you perform well. Who doesn't love it? That one who doesn't love it, you just tell them, Jenna, sit down. Yeah. Yeah. Life is good, man. Eh? All right. We got the next question. We got the next question. Uh-huh. They're saying that they are saying that so we are done with this. Peripheral nervous system, we talked about it. That is made up of 12 cranial nerves. Those are pairs, and then 31 pairs of spinal nerves. These are coming from the spine. Then cranial is coming from the cranium, which is the then it is when you talk about the autonomic nervous system, is made up of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Sorry, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, they work antagonistically. That word is very. Which two systems work antagonistically? What does it mean? In opposite way, antagonistically. Think about what do you do when you're doing antagonistic. Antagonistically. Life science is nice. Yeah. So antagonistically, it means that in opposite direction. It means that in opposite direction. So now we have the effect of antagonistic nature, meaning that when one increases, one decreases. When it comes like this, when you talk about parasympathetic, you just have to talk about the sympathetic nervous system, something like that. Simple. So, for example, increase the heartbeat, decrease the heartbeat. Constriction of the blood vessels. Sometimes we ask you that, remember, when this one is working, it works together with adrenaline. You understand? Yes. So it brings about the constriction of the blood vessels in the skin and the digestive system during emergency. You see? So they work together. Then we go to the next question. What is it about? The structure and the function of the new. Okay, this one is structure of the neuron. What I need to talk about here. Let me check here. So we saw these questions. Yeah. Okay. Let's just answer here. The part of the brain that is responsible for memorizing a cell phone, meaning that memory, which is B, is the cerebrum. They are saying letter B, and then you tell us cerebrum. Then coordinating all voluntary movement. Or you see coordinating all voluntary movement, it is D. Then you tell us it is cerebellum. Then secreting hormone. Which part of the brain secretes hormone? Then it's the A, which is the periodic gland, connecting the hemisphere of left and right, which is corpus callosum, which is C. Then you're saying reflex action that occur when stepping on the bare foot, which is the spinal cord. That's the reflex action. Therefore, it is E. You see, it's simple. Then when you talk about the neurons, what you need to know that the dendrite is a part of the neuron which takes impulse to the cell body. And then when you talk about the cell body, that one is obvious. Connecting the nucleus, control the cell's activities, all that. The axon is a part of the neuron which takes away information from the cell body. You understand? So when you are, how does the impulse move? This is the song from Mr. Mdalose. Yes, Mdalose. Yes, from Wise Man Mutlaba. Yes, that he said that it starts from the dendrite, cell body, axon, to the terminal branches of the the terminal branches of the neuron. Yes. So he said that how does the impulse move? It moves from this from the dendrite, cell body, axon, to the terminal branches of what? So it means from the dendrite, cell body, the axon, then it goes to the terminal branches of the neuron. Yes, it's a nice song. And if we have other people who can develop those songs for our kids, we will be very happy for that so that they can memorize this. But you kids, don't just memorize, also understand so that you can apply. Because you might memorize it, but you don't know when to apply it. So let's go to the next question. Then they're saying that identify, let me just say this question. They're saying that, yes. The next question, they're saying that Identify the type of neuron shown. Which type of neuron is shown here? You see, when you have the cell body, you have at the terminal, then that is a motor neuron. So identify the type of neuron shown above. Motor neuron use the letters A, B, and C. Only give the correct sequence for the transmission of the impulse along the A. Yeah, that's the same song we are talking about. Say that dent right, yes, cell body, so it comes from there, it goes there, the axon, then the terminal branches of the what? The neuron. Yes. So they are saying use the letter A, B, C, so it's gonna be CBA. Yes. They're saying that explain how the speed of transmission of impulse will differ for neuron 1 and neuron 2. Neuron 1 and neuron 2. Yeah, this one is gonna be faster. Why? Because it is myelinated. Ne? It has the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. Ne? Yes. And then this one is gonna be slow. I think I showed you that diagram which has yes, it's here. It's here. You see the one which has the myelin sheath, the speed is faster. You understand? And then the one which is not myelinated, doesn't have the myelin sheath, the speed is slower. So when you have the myelin sheath, remember sheath is like a protection. Imagine electricity is traveling in a wire which is not covered. Some electricity, some is being lost as it is going. But if it is within, it is very fast. You know? Yeah, to where I don't know. Yeah, imagine something is within the tube and then it's moving. You see, that's exactly. And then something is just outside, then it's moving. You see, which one is faster? The one which is within the what? The tube. Which tube? I don't know. And so they're saying that explain the speed of transmission of impulse differ from. So we say that this one is going to be faster than this. Yes. But he said explain why, because this one has the myelin sheath, while this one has no myelin sheath. Yes. So meaning that there is no loss of the transmission of this impulse. You understand? Yes. Explain why a person will feel the stimulus but will not be able to respond if only the type of the neuron is damaged. If yeah, you'll be able to feel the stimulus but you won't be able to respond, is because the person will be able to, the sensory is working, so the receptor is working, so you will be able to feel the pain, but you won't be able to send this impulse to the effector, which is the muscle. That's why you won't be able to respond. Is it clear? Yes, meaning that there will be the impulse will be breached somewhere, meaning that it won't be able to move continuously. Meaning that why? Because the motor neuron is damaged, so it can't take the impulse to the effector so that there is a response. Yeah, so that's the same thing here. It's trying to ask you the same question. It's like an investigative question. You understand? Yes. So you guys, these investigative questions, those who were with me at the beginning, I think I tried to explain nicely how this investigative question work. You understand? Yes. And I know that you guys, you will make it. You will make it 100%. Yes. Guys, we need, I repeat, we need you to pass, because this world is not easy. I always tell my students, don't talk for your papers. Let the papers talk for you. If you do that, I repeat, if you do that, you'll be able to succeed. Tell people that I was sick. What? Don't tell people that there was no money home. What? They won't listen. They want marks, man. They want marks. And once they get the marks, you'll get a job. Not for this victim that to give you a job you have to do this. If tell them if you don't want to give me a job, let me go. It's fine. Yeah, go. Your marks are good, man. You will get a job. Those only apply to those people who did not perform well. So you have a chance, guys. Make sure that you perform well. The life will be good for you. Yes, if you have a chance for your parent to, anyway, today is not, I'm not a motivation speaker today. I don't want to talk about it, but sometimes it hurts me when someone doesn't make it. Yes. All right. Let's go to the next question. So you guys, please make sure that you know this versus this. Please make sure that you know those two. You must know those two. How this one, the cell body is along the neuron, while here the cell body is at the terminal. You see? Yes. And then number two is make sure that you know how to draw. In paper one, in most cases, we ask you to draw three things. Number one, the structure of the sperm. Number two, the structure of the ovum. Number three, the structure of the neuron. We don't have any other diagram we ask you to draw in paper one. Please take note of that. Structure of the sperm, structure of the neuron, and then the structure of the ovum. Yes. Hey. So, guys, yes. Yes, I have another question I must ask you. Yes, I have also another one there. Yeah, we tried. Hey, did I ask you a question about the female reproductive system? Oh, wow. I forgot. Reflex arc. What do you need to know, understand here? What is the reflex action? Is the rapid automatic response to the stimulus. That's the reflex action. What's the reflex arc? It's a path traveled by the impulse during the reflex action. You understand? Path traveled by the impulse during a reflex action. What is the function of the reflex action? Protects the body from further harm. Or it helps the body to respond quickly so that you are not harmed. You understand? Yes. Then number three, what are some of the examples of reflex action? Examples of reflex action, you can talk about ninja withdrawal of the hand from the hot object. Actually, the actions you do rapidly, you don't think, and you're just protecting your body. You understand? There are some actions which are automatic, but they're not protecting your body. For example, when you are breathing, it's automatic. Don't say that I can stop. When you're sleeping, what happens? It's automatic. When you're swallowing, even if you're upside down, the food will go. It's automatic. Peristalsis is automatic. When it's time for the baby to come out, even if you close the legs like this, it will come out. It's automatic. Dilation of the cervix. Relaxation, dilation and relaxation of the cervix. It's automatic. So those things, those things are automatic. But there are some automatic things which are protecting the body from further harm. For example, withdrawal of the hand from a hot object. That is a reflex action. Knee jab. When someone hits you, is a reflex action. Blinking of the eye. When something is coming to hurt your eye, just put, it's automatic. You don't have, don't say that you are just blink. No, put yourself maybe in front of the car. There is a mirror. If a fly comes in, you're gonna do this. Why? It's automatic. You don't think about it. That's a reflex action. So action which protects the body from danger, automatic. What is the synapse? Synapse is a junction between two hormone neurons. You understand? What's the function of the synapse? The function of the synapse is to allow impulse to move in one direction. That's it. It allows impulse to move in one direction. That's the major function of the synapse. So you guys, you need to know, how does the reflex arc work? So in this case, you talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about that. You talk about all those things. Yes. So how does it work? Yes, that's how you do it. So I think, guys, sneezing, yes. I know how hypothesis and the main. I don't understand mahlate. Mahlate. I don't understand what you are saying. Maybe I didn't get it right, but let me know what you. Can I write with black pen? Why do you want to write with black pen? Go with the blue pen. Yeah, go with the blue pen, guys. Yeah, don't bring situation which is gonna make your marks to go. I don't like it. When the examiner is marking, make him or her happy. Make him how? See, don't write with the black pen. Why do you write with the black pen? You understand? Yeah. So make things right. Unless you don't have a complete and stuff, there's nothing you can do. Then that's it. But if you have a blue pen, go buy the blue pen. Yes. All right. Let's continue to the next question. So please make sure that you know those functions. You understand? What will happen if the motor neuron is damaged? What will happen if the sensory, the motor neuron is damaged? So it means that the person will be able to feel, but you won't be able to respond. What will happen if this is blocked? The person won't be able to feel, but he will be able to respond. Sometimes we change the language and ask you, what will happen if this neuron is severe? Then someone said, you have never taught us that. It's damaged. So let's talk about the multiple sclerosis and so when you talk about Alzheimer's disease, basically this is a disease for memory loss. The cerebral cortex is damaged. And then the multiple sclerosis, the degeneration of the myelin sheath. So they can even ask you this question that here, that which disease do you think is happening here? Where is it? Which disease is it happening here? Hey, where is the question? Yeah, is here. Where is it? Yeah, here. One is not myelinated, meaning that it is multiple sclerosis. Even here, this one has no and this one has. So it can be another way of, yeah. So let's talk about the eye. Guys, the eye is a problem to some people, but is simple. Let me just highlight what you expect to let me just highlight what you expect to find here. And the key points where people don't know. They ask you which part of the eye has the highest concentration of rods and cones. When you talk about that, the highest concentration of rods and cones is you talk about the fovea, yellow spot. Yellow spot, that's where the clearest image is formed. Why? Because it has the highest concentration of rods and cones. Which part of the eye is responsible for absorption of excess light or is responsible for reflection of light? Yes, this is the choroid. You understand? Yes, it's the choroid. Then which part of the eye gives the eye its shape, the eyeball shape? It is the vitreous humor. Which part of the eye is affected when cataracts happen? It is the lens. So guys, you need to know that. Yeah? Which part of the eye is damaged during astigmatism? It is the cornea. You see, it's the cornea. It's uneven distribution of the cornea, meaning that you form multiple images. So please, what is the function of the vitreous humor? Another function of the vitreous humor. So you need to know this. So make sure that you know this diagram. Ne? Yes, I can't go through everything because we are not in the teaching style. It's just to highlight for you that please don't go without knowing this. Accommodation, memorize one. Other one is when you talk about accommodation, ability of the eye to see near and far object. Here you have to talk about the lens, the suspensory ligament, and the ciliary muscles. Did I say it right? The lens, the suspensory ligament, and the ciliary muscles. Yes. The lens, the suspensory ligament, and the ciliary muscles. Yes. So meaning that don't talk about the pupil, don't talk about the iris, please. You talk about the ciliary muscles, you talk about the suspensory ligament, you talk about the lens. That's it. Ciliary muscles contract. Suspended ligament slacken. The tension on the lens decrease. The lens becomes more convex. The light reflective or bent more, and then a clear image is formed. If you don't know, you know some 2, 3. At least write the last point that clear image is formed. You never know. They will give you that mark. A clear image, whether it's short or whether it's far or near, clear image is formed at the end. We want, you see, is formed at the end. So that point is there. Right, I know it's a process. Sometimes we are too strict and then we cancel it, but write it if you don't know. Yeah, you have to know that. You have to know. Yes. So guys, yeah. Then when you are seeing objects which are near, what happens to the lens? The lens, you see the object which is near is big. So that's why the lens is big. Because big versus big. And then the object which is far is small. If you look at the plane in the sky, you see them very small. But go to the airport, you will know. So that's why the lens is also small. Far object, lens is small, becomes taut. While near object, lens is big. It becomes what? Slacken. Don't say small, big. Don't say that I said that. We will give you 0. Slacken, taut. So you guys, I think when you say a nearby object is 6 meters and above, 6 meters and below, less than 6 meters is near object. 6 meters and above or more than 6 meters is for object. You understand? Yes. So please. Then the dim and bright light, or the parallel mechanism, the ability to see in dim and bright light. Yes. So here you just talk about the bright like a star. I don't mix things up. When do you mix things up? In the dark. When it's dark, you mix things up. What do you mix? I don't know. So meaning that, you know what I'm saying, that what you mix in the dark is R with C, and then C with R. If you thought about something else, I didn't say that. So R with R, C with C in bright light. Because the light is there, you don't mix them up. So radial muscles, relax. Sacral muscles, contract. The diameter of the pupil, because it is bright light, when you look into the sun, what happens? You close the eyes so that the diameter of the pupil is reduced. So the diameter of the pupil constrict. Less light enters the eye. That's it. So in dim light, R is gonna go with the C is gonna go with R. Radio muscles contract. Sacral muscles relax. Radio muscles contract. Sacral muscles relax. The diameter of the pupil will increase, meaning that the pupil will dilate. More light will enter the eye. So it is just the simple application of it. You understand? Yeah. I didn't talk about the eye defects, short-sightedness, long-sightedness, astigmatism. Short sight, it means that you are able to see objects which are near, but you can't see objects which are far. Meaning that if you see objects which are near, it means that the lens is big. Even the eyeball is what? Is big. So it means that you won't be able to see objects which are far. It means that the image will form before the retina. And then if it is long sight, you're able to see objects which are far, but you can't see objects which are near, meaning that now the eyeball is too short. You understand? So the image is formed behind the retina. Wabona? Yes. So what I want to talk about is cataracts. This is the cloudy of the lens. When the lens is cloudy, then that's when you form the cataracts. So these are some of the questions of the eye. Yes, some of the questions of the what? Of the eye. They're saying that aim, determine the effect X will have on Y. Determine the effect of someone is asking what's they're saying determine the effect of X will have on Y. Effect of X will have on Y. It means that X becomes the independent and then Y becomes the dependent, because the effect of X on Y, meaning that X it causes the effect on the what? On the Y. That statement in most cases comes on the first statement of the investigation or investigative question. You understand? Then you are able to. You understand? You understand? Yes. So guys, These things are simple when you follow. Just read the first statement. I'm telling you, you will get. If there is no table, if there is a table, I told you what to do. But if there's no table, just read the first statement. If the first statement is very rare, it's not there, go to the second statement. You won't skip the second statement unless that person wants you to fail. So the first statement, the second statement. Ne? Yes. So they're saying that the uh, ear still you need to know this. Hearing, you just have to follow. You understand? Ah. But remember, here we have the organ of Corti, while here we have the maculae and the cristae. So these are sensory cells. Sensory cells are found there for balance, while this one sensory cells are found there for hearing. Mm. So the hearing, you see, tympanum traps the sound wave, and directs it. You understand? The tympanic membrane vibrates and transmits the vibration to the oscars. The oscars amplify the vibration. So you talk part function until it reaches what? The end. Simple. Yes. So hearing, and I have a feeling that the ear will come. I'm just saying I have a feeling. I didn't say that it's gonna come, but I'm saying I have a feeling that the ear is inevitable. Anyway, let's continue. So that's how you're supposed to explain. I'm not going to go too much here. I only want to go through balance. Balance. Process of balance. Speed and direction. You stimulate the crystal found where in the ampulla of the semicircular canal, comma. Change in the position of head stimulates the maculae found where in the circulus and the of the semicircular canal. All right. The stimuli is converted into enough impulse which is transmitted to the cerebellum along the auditory nerve for interpretation to restore balance. Simple. As simple as writing life science tomorrow. As simple. No, side is more of balance. Change in speed and direction stimulates the cristae found in the ampulla of the semicircular canal, comma. Change in the position of the head stimulates the cristae found in the utriculus and the circulus. You understand? Comma. The stimulus is converted into a nerve impulse. Since there are more than one, the stimuli is converted into a nerve impulse which is transmitted along the auditory nerve to cerebellum for interpretation to restore balance. But now, sometimes the question comes when is a scenario. So you have to explain it based on the scenario. Eh? 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 All right. Guys, I'm about to finish. I'm going to tell you where and how people fail this question. Middle ear infection. Treatment, antibiotics. Insertion of grommets. Cool. All right. Ask you. What's the function of, you can't go to the paper without knowing this. What's the function of the eustachian tube? Equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. Cool. But there is a question which came and they say that how is the the eustachian tube equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane? What are you going to say? It equalizes pressure on either side of the tympanic membrane. What are you going to say? Oh, what did you say? It allows the air saturation in and out. You see? How does it equalize? It releases, this one releases pressure from the inner ear or absorbs excess pressure from the inner ear. It's the same thing. Someone is going to say releasing and absorbing is not the same thing. When you absorb, you are releasing that side. All right. So, grommets are small structures which are inserted in the tympanic membrane so that it can drain the fluid in the middle ear. Why are people having this middle ear infection? not advised to dive in water. Yeah, because the air won't be saturating. So it means that the pressure won't be equalized on the other side of the tympanic membrane, and then the tympanic membrane is gonna burst and then causing deafness. Should I repeat? Saying that if someone is having middle ear infection, you're not advised to go deep, is because there is difference in air pressure. So what happens is the pressure won't be equalized. It won't allow air to go in and out, meaning that the pressure won't be equalized on the either side of the tympanic membrane. And then what happens is that the tympanic membrane is gonna burst, and then deafness is yes. Guys, yeah, lastly, let me just talk about the external and when they bring this question, what happens here? This is external fertilization. The sperm and the ovum, they find these things outside the female's body. You see, this is also external fertilization. So that's not a big deal. They're saying internal fertilization. What is the advantage of the internal fertilization? So it increases the chances of the gamete to meet. You understand? So hence a greater chance of successful fertilization. Yes, you have to know that. Then this is, you see what is happening. Embryo development. This one is oviparous, means that, guys, it can be oviparous but internal fertilization. So don't confuse internal fertilization and external fertilization. You understand? With oviparous. This one is internal fertilization. You understand? But it is oviparous. But the frog is external fertilization oviparous. You understand? Yes. External fertilization oviparous, internal fertilization oviparous. It is possible. Then this is viparous because the development is inside and the baby is obtaining nutrients from the placenta. Yes. And then oviparous, ovoviviparous, it means that the development is inside. The embryo obtains nutrients from the yolk, meaning that the mother is just giving the shelter. That's it. Then the advantage of viviparous, meaning that is protection, basically is protection. Then when it comes to amniotic egg, you have to know these layers, which we call the extraembryonic membranes. Chorion protects the embryo, developing embryo. Sorry, amnion. Then this one, chorion facilitates the exchange, facilitates the gas exchange between the embryo and the egg. You understand? Meaning that, yeah, the external environment. Then allantois is respiration. It's still gases exchange, respiration, and waste disposal. Then yolk, which you call the yolk sac. Yes, we basically use it. Yolk sac nutrients, provides nutrients. So precursor, born prepared, eyes open, down feathers, everything. You understand? Yes. So you have to know about that. Sir, can you explain 2.44? Emanuela, let me check and see what you are saying. 2.44. Where is 2.44 now? 2 point. And see the 2.44 from where? 2 point. Manuel, I don't see where you are saying, ne? I don't see. So artificial born prepared, meaning that, yeah. And then artificial, so precursor born prepared. While artificial is all depends on the parent. Ne? Yes. So parental care basically it's increases the chances of survival. That is all about parental care. Emmanuel to Tuamasi. Please, 2.44. I don't understand your question. Where did I see it? I don't know exactly, but maybe rectify for me which one was it. So guys, if we come here, we have this question. Name the type of fertilization that occurred during the frog. So fertilization, check it. is external fertilization. Explain why fertilized egg of the frog do not survive on land, because they are membranous. They don't have a shell, you understand, to protect them from dehydration. That's why they are supposed to be in water. Explain how amphiosis increase the chance of fertilization in frog. Have to read here. They're saying that in some frog species, during mating, the male climb onto the back of the female and grasp, okay, her with his front leg. Okay, during this time, the female raises about 6,000 over, while the male releases sperm onto them during mating behavior. This is called, okay. Then they're saying that Reflexes, okay, increase the chance of fertilization. How? Is because the female releases a lot of what? A lot of eggs. You understand? Yes. So it is, and then while the male, and then also the male sprays the sperms onto them. Imagine you do here and you do here. The eggs are here and the sperms are here. Like in humans, you release the sperms in the vagina and then the egg is far. You understand? But because they are within the tube, then it's easier to swim towards that. Explain from the information about explain one way strategy that contribute to reproductive success for these of the frog species. Reproductive success. How in some species during mating the male climb onto the back. You see, they're able to climb onto the back and then grasp it. So you guys, I think that's it. This is the female reproductive system. Identify what is B. B is the endometrium. Name the process that takes place at A. It is fertilization. Describe the process named at this. Describe to lead to the zygote. Name the process that takes place at A that leads to the zygote formation. Okay, we say this fertilization. Name the process. Name the process that takes place in part A that lead to the zygote formation. Okay, describe the process, meaning that they want you to talk about fertilization. Describe how the secretion of the prostate gland. Describe how the secretion of the prostate gland provide protection for sperm from condition in the describe how the secretion of prostate gland provides protection for sperm from the condition in C. Meaning that, remember, the prostate gland produce alkaline fluid which neutralizes the acidic nature of the vagina so that the sperms are able to swim. So guys, I think that is it, and it has been a wonderful journey for our preparation for the exam. We will be back with the other topics. Let me know in the comment section which topics do you want me to talk about. But now I'm going for a break, and then guys, I wish you the best and I wish you everything, and I know that you're gonna make it. Please make sure that you make it. You come back. You don't let me down. Ne? Please don't let me down, and I know that you want to do that. Ne? Thank you so much. Livonia. Yes, I see yourself there. Sir, can you send a link for the document? Oh, you want me to send the link for the document? Okay, let me just do save. Let me just save it, and then I'm gonna upload it on our website. Then I'm gonna send you the link so that you're able to access this small document. Yes, I think guys, that is it. Thank you so much. See you again in the next yes.